Okay, 8th graders, y'all are going to learn lesson 1.3, which is identifying types of numbers and reviewing the different types of numbers that you'll see in math. Start with the simplest, natural numbers. Natural numbers are positive whole numbers starting at 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to infinity, right? Or as far as you can think. Positive whole numbers does not include 0. Okay? Whole numbers does include 0. Is this cereal? 0.
Are you serious?
Whole numbers include 0, and those are called integers. Integers are actually all the whole numbers and negative whole numbers. And 0.
So 0 is whole.
0 is a whole number. Yep.
Okay.
0 is an integer. Right, integer, when you say, if it gives you the number 0, like problem number 7, you should identify that as an integer. Okay? Then you have numbers like that are rational or irrational. All of these are rational numbers. Rational numbers are numbers that you can write as a fraction. Irrational numbers are numbers that you cannot write as a fraction. So we can write the number 2 as a fraction, 2 over 1, right? 3 over 1. 0 over any number, you can write as a fraction. You can write numbers like 1/3 as a fraction, or 1 1/3 as a fraction, which is 4/3. You could write 0.5 as a fraction, 5/10, right? So 5 over 10, or 1/2. But irrational numbers are numbers you cannot write as a fraction because they are non-repeating, random order decimals, like pi. 3.1415192654, etc. Okay, or the square root of a number, square root of 3. You get a random set of numbers of non-repeating, non-terminating decimals, they're called. And those are irrational numbers. You can only write the symbol for those numbers. You can't write the actual digit form of those numbers. Okay? So those are called irrational numbers. Now, you have numbers that then are inequalities. Inequalities are numbers that are ways of comparing two numbers, greater than or less than. Remember, the less than sign points to the left on the number line. The greater than sign points to the right of the number line. Okay? Opposites. Opposites are numbers that are the same distance from 0, so they have the same absolute value, but they're on opposite sides of 0. So 4 and -4. 5 and -5. 20 and -20. Those are all opposites. And so absolute value is the distance a number is from 0. The number of spaces that an integer is from 0. Okay? The absolute value of -5 is 5 spaces. 5 spaces from 0. 3 is 3 spaces from 0. Okay? So, absolute value is always positive because it's a distance, it's a number of spaces. Okay? So let's take a look at some from your assignment. How about number 10? The square root of 5. Number 10. The square root of 5. What type of number is that? Can that be written as a fraction? Well, square root means two numbers that are the same that you multiply together to get the number. So you could get the square root of 4. That would equal 2, right? Because 2 squared is 4. But the square root of 5? Oh no. No, that's an irrational number. Okay. Square root of 4 is 2 because 2 squared equals 4. Right? What about number 5? Oh no, let's do number 6. So we're skipping around a little bit. But number 6, negative 20 over 4. What is the answer to that?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. And what is negative 5?
Whole.
It's an integer, isn't it? It's an integer. So it's not a whole number, it's the opposite of a whole number. So that's an integer. How about if we were comparing two numbers, like number 25. This is the next section. We have to write the symbol in between. Negative 2/3 and negative 1/6. Now, when you're comparing fractions, you should look at the denominator, right? Can we change this one to sixths? How many sixths is it?
4.
You'd have to multiply it by 2. And so this is negative 4/6, right? Is that more or less than negative 1/6? It's less, isn't it? Because on a number line, the more negative something is, negative 4/6 is more negative than negative 1/6. So we would use the less than symbol. Right? How about number 34? What is the absolute value of 4? It's just 4, isn't it? Because it's 4 spaces from 0. How about the absolute value of negative 9?
9.
It's 9, isn't it? Why? What does that 9 mean?
9 spaces from 0.
9 spaces from 0, yeah. You got this? All right. If you have any questions, review this video, okay?